Hello friends, welcome to Storytelling Station and I am Saurabh Nath and today I am going to tell you one Sherlock Holmes story named The Adventure of the Barrel Coronet, written by Sir Arthur Conan Doyle. It is the second part of the story. If you didn't hear the first part of the story, I am giving the link in the description and in the I button above. Please do subscribe to my channel. Now let's start the story.
Seeing that my client was anxious to leave, I said no more but calling for my cashier. I ordered him to pay over 51,000 euro notes. When I was alone once more, however, with the precious case lying upon my table in front of me, I could not but think with some misgivings of the immense responsibility which it entailed upon me. There could be no doubt that, as it was a national possession, a horrible scandal would ensue if any misfortune should occur to it. I already regretted having ever consented to take charge of it. However, it was too late to alter the matter now, so I locked it up in my private safe and turned once more to my work. When evening came, I felt that it would be an imprudence to leave so precious a thing in the office behind me. Banker's safe had been forced before now, and why should not mine be? If so, how terrible would be the position in which I should find myself. I determined therefore that for the next few days I would always carry the case backward and forward with me, so that it might never be really out of my reach. With these intentions, I called a cab and drove out to my house at Streatham, carrying the jewel with me. I did not breathe freely until I had taken it upstairs and locked it in the bureau of my dressing room. And now a word as to my household, Mr. Holmes, for I wish you to thoroughly understand the situation. My groom and my page sleep out of the house and may be set aside altogether. I have three maid servants who have been with me a number of years and whose absolute reliability is quite above suspicion. Another, Lucy Parr, the second waiting maid, has only been in my service a few months. She came with an excellent character, however, and has always given me satisfaction. She is a very pretty girl and has attracted admirers who have occasionally hung about the place. That is the only drawback which we have found to her. But we believe her to be a thoroughly good girl in every way. So much for the servants. My family itself is so small that it will not take me long to describe it. I am a widower and have an only son, Arthur. He has been a disappointment to me, Mr. Holmes, a grievous disappointment. I have no doubt that I am myself to blame. People tell me that I have spoiled him. Very likely I have. When my dear wife died, I felt that he was all I had to love. I could not bear to see the smile fade even for a moment from his face. I have never denied him a wish. Perhaps it would have been better for both of us had I been Turner, but I meant it for the best. It was naturally my intention that he should succeed me in my business, but he was not of a business turn. He was wild, wayward, and to speak the truth, I could not trust him in the handling of large sums of money. When he was young, he became a member of an aristocratic club, and there, having charming manners, he was soon the inmate of a number of men with long purses and expensive habits. He learned to play heavily at cards and to squander money on the turf, until he had again and again to come to me and implore me to give him an advance upon his allowance, that he might settle his debt of honor. He tried more than once to break away from the dangerous company which he was keeping, but each time the influence of his friend Sir George Barnwell was enough to draw him back again. And indeed, I could not wonder that such a man as Sir George Barnwell should gain an influence over him, for he has frequently brought him to my house, and I have found myself that I could hardly resist the fascination of his manner. He is older than Arthur, a man of the world to his fingertips, one who had been everywhere, seen everything, a brilliant talker, and a man of great personal beauty. Yet, when I think of him in cold blood, far away from the glamour of his presence, I am convinced from his cynical speech and the look which I have caught in his eyes that he is one who should be deeply distrusted. So I think, and so too thinks my little Mary, who has a woman's quick insight into character. And now there is only she to describe. She is my niece, but when my brother died 5 years ago and left her alone in the world, I adopted her, and have looked upon her ever since as my daughter. She is a sunbeam in my house, sweet, loving, beautiful, a wonderful manager and housekeeper, yet as tender and quiet and gentle as a woman could be. She is my right hand. I do not know what I could do without her. In only one matter has she ever gone against my wishes. Twice my boy has asked her to marry him, for he loves her devotedly, but each time she has refused him. I think that if anyone could have drawn him into the right path, it would have been she, and that his marriage might have changed his whole life. But now, alas, it is too late, forever too late. Now, Mr. Holmes, you know the people who live under my roof, and I shall continue with my miserable story. When we were taking coffee in the drawing room that night after dinner, I told Arthur and Mary my experience, and of the precious treasures which we had under our roof, surprising only the name of my client, Lucy Parr, who had brought in the coffee, had I am sure, left the room. But I cannot swear that the door was closed. Mary and Arthur were much interested and wished to see the famous coronet. But I thought it better not to disturb it.
Where have you put it?
In my own bureau.
Well, I hope to goodness the house won't be burgled during the night.
It is locked up.
Oh, an old key will fit the bureau. When I was a youngster, I have opened it myself with the key of the box room cupboard.
He often had a wild way of talking, so that I thought little of what he said. He followed me to my room, however, that night with a very grave face.
Look here, Dad. Can you let me have 200 euro?
No, I cannot. I have been far too generous with you in money matters.
You have been very kind, but I must have this money, or else I can never show my face inside the club again.
And a very good thing too.
Yes, but you would not have me leave it a dishonored man. I could not bear the disgrace. I must raise the money in some way, and if you will not let me have it, then I must try other means.
I was very angry, but this was the third demand during the month. You shall not have a farthing from me. I cried, on which he bowed and left the room without any word. When he was gone, I unlocked my bureau and made sure that my treasure was safe and locked it again. Then I started to go round the house to see that all was secure, a duty which I usually leave to Mary, but which I thought it will to perform myself that night. As I came down the stairs, I saw Mary herself at the side window of the hall, which she closed and fastened as I approached.
Tell me, Dad, did you give Lucy, the maid, leave to go out tonight?
What happened to the barrel coronet? Did Lucy stole it? Did Sherlock Holmes manage to get it back? To know the full story, do subscribe to my channel and press the bell icon below. The next part will be coming soon.